This video is brought to you by Smash Bracket, the animated versus battle series that seeks to answer who is canonically the strongest character in Super Smash Bros. And then puts them in a giant tournament bracket to figure it out. We're doing a giveaway right now where you can choose your very own matchup to be included on the channel. That's right, it's going to be animated and everything, and it is all up to you. Link is in the description and the pinned comments. Welcome to InkThinks. Not too long ago, I made a video detailing who I thought was going to get into Super Smash Bros. As DLC, but I want to do something a little different today. Here are the characters that I don't think are going to make the cut as DLC. Now, obviously, let me preface this by saying I've got no freaking clue what I'm talking about, just like any Super Smash Bros. Speculator, and we are all notoriously very bad at predicting who's going to be included. So if I say your favorite character, don't get too offended, it's just all part of my incompetence. Let's start off with Master Chief. Now, Master Chief is a character that I've seen asked for ever since Super Smash Bros. DLC predictions started, and it's no wonder why. He's incredibly popular, especially here in the West where shooters are, well, incredibly popular. His sales speak for themselves, and there's no denying his influence or his hold on the gaming scene. After all, he's basically the mascot of Xbox. So with all of this said, it seems like I'm really talking the character up. Why do I not think he's going to be included in the game? First off, like I mentioned, Master Chief is incredibly popular in the West, but that same popularity doesn't really extend over to Japan. And while I don't think that's the largest deal, I mean, we've seen characters be compromised for Western prevalence, I do think that it's worth, at the very least, considering. But that isn't to say that Japan is without its first-person shooter audience or without a Halo audience. It is there, and we know that Nintendo is aware of the game, so it's not like it would be some random representation. But personally, I think that between Banjo-Kazooie and Steve from Minecraft, we've seen too many Microsoft affiliate companies included in the game to really expect another one to get in. And while it is true that both the companies for Banjo-Kazooie and Minecraft operate as separate entities under one giant Microsoft umbrella, as we've covered in my previous videos, I do think that personally this hurts the shot of another character getting into the game from that company. And it's not like I think there's any sort of limit that Nintendo sets on a specific company, and there's no guarantee that they view it as the same company. I just personally would be surprised if we see multiple Xbox subsidiaries getting into the game. The next one on my list hurts my heart. Impa from Breath of the Wild and the Legend of Zelda series in general. Now, the Legend of Zelda series, as I say in probably 80% of my videos, is incredibly deserving and in need of a new fighter. We haven't had a new character since Brawl, and we haven't ever had a character outside of the main Triforce trio of Zelda, Link, and Ganondorf. With the series being one of Nintendo's best-selling games, I would love to see another representation come to the game, but I just am not so sure. It's true we have Breath of the Wild 2 coming out soon. Allegedly, they stopped telling us stuff about it, much like Metroid Prime 4. I just think that with these last two fighter slots, they're probably going to focus on a more widely appealing character than Impa or maybe even the 4 champions. We did see that Age of Calamity was represented in Super Smash Bros. With a Spirit event, and so I just personally would be surprised if we see another Zelda character coming to the game, as much as it hurts me inside. Next up on the list is Doomguy. Now, Doomguy is incredibly popular from an incredibly influential series. There is no denying that. I've made an entire video going into his chances and the way that his game has influenced the world. But when it comes down to it, I just personally think that he's not suited for Super Smash Bros. If they want to maintain their current rating system. In order to make Doomguy feel like Doomguy, you'd have to give him his shotgun, his chainsaw, and a few other weapons that I just don't think are going to cut it for Nintendo. I know that at least in the United States, there's some strict laws regarding what kind of guns can be included in T-rated games and even where they can be pointed. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that a shotgun is outside of those boundaries, especially one that is pointed at literal children like Ness. This next one's going to be real quick. I have had a lot of people ask for Among Us in Smash in my comment section, believe it or not. And when it comes down to it, Among Us is just way too new to legitimately consider it as a contender. It's been reported that the negotiations for Steve to get into the game took 5 years. Among Us is just way too new, especially in its newfound popularity, for any sort of meaningful negotiations. The last character I'm going to mention hurts my heart arguably as much as Impa, which is my boy, Waluigi. Waluigi has a soft spot for me. He's the one who helped my channel take off to a whole total of 13,000 subscribers, but regardless, he has really been there as a character that I can talk about reliably and interact with fans on. He has a super passionate fan base, and there's no denying that he is a definite conversation starter. So why don't I think he's going to be added into the game. Is it that he's an assist trophy? No, not necessarily. I don't think that there's anything to outright say that assist trophies can't be upgraded to fighters later on, even though personally, I honestly think that they'd probably opt for characters who aren't represented in Smash in any capacity, but moving on. So, what is the reason that I don't think he's going to be added into the game? It's not popularity, it's not relevancy, it's not sexual appeal. The real reason is a giant anime plot twist, because it is that he's already represented in the game. It's not necessarily because he's an assist trophy, like I said, but I do think that his chances are hurt by being represented already. I just see Nintendo wanting to opt with totally new options. That said, I suppose if there's some sort of bonus DLC after this Challenger Pack, I could see it. That's a common theory that I hear. But for right now, with these remaining 2 fighters, I don't see him getting into the game. And those are my thoughts on the remaining DLC's anti-candidates, the ones that aren't coming to the game. If you want to check out a video on Falco versus Captain Falcon, click that in the bottom left-hand corner. It's one of my favorite ones that I've ever made. And if you want to binge my entire Final Analysis speculation series, that is on the right. I want to give a huge thank you to this month's channel members, and until next time, keep thinking.